Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Karen Nance Show. This is a pre-Halloween interview, and I'm so excited to have Jennifer Word, mom of 6 boys, on the show. Welcome, Jennifer.
Hi, how are you?
Good. So Halloween is 3 days away. So can you tell us, are you all set with your 6 boys? I can't even imagine what that's like.
So we're getting there. By the 31st, we'll be fully set, yes. But it is definitely a process.
So can you share with us how in terms of picking costumes and who's going to be what? Can you tell
Yeah.
us a little bit about that?
So each year we try to theme it a family style until they're old enough to be like, I want to be this one or I want to be this one. Last year we did Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. So that was a lot of fun. And they all got to pick a dwarf and they got to pick which one matched their personality. This year we are doing Super Mario. And it's hard to find like family like the Incredibles. It's only like 5 people. So when I go to add 8 of us together for us all to be something, it's tough. So we did Super Mario this year because there's a whole bunch of characters, and ultimately we let the kids pick who they wanted to be. And I picked the princess. Josh got to pick a character as well, so it worked out.
What are the ages? People would love to hear the ages of all your boys.
So our oldest is almost 8. In December, he'll be 8. Then we have Jordan, who is 6. Kason and Carson are the twins. They're 5. Then we have Jamari is 4. And Malachi is 11 months now.
Wow, you
Yep.
have your hands
Yeah.
full. And you're the only girl in the house,
Only girl.
right?
We got a dog. We got a dog. She's the girl.
So in terms of preparation, so we know we get the costumes together and everyone's set, and I guess you're still waiting to get some uh parts of the costumes. Is that right? Just a
Yes.
little bit more.
Yeah, like the gloves, the hats. And especially because it's getting cold quick. So then I'm like, okay, we got to get a long sleeve for under to make sure you're warm. All that stuff, little stuff should be in. Hopefully today.
Good. So what are you going to do? Are you taking the boys out on Halloween? What are your and Josh's plans?
So schools, I don't know if you guys are all aware, but a lot of schools and the military does it every year. They're called trunk or treats now, to where they line up a whole bunch of cars. You can decorate your trunk, pass out candy, you can play a little game at your trunk. So the school is hosting their trunk or treat tonight, which I helped plan this year. And so we're going to do that with the kids. We'll all dress up. We're going to decorate our trunk like Super Mario themed. Josh wanted to put a TV in the back and play the video game on repeat. So we'll do the trunk or treat tonight, which is very low. It's daytime. There's a lot of kids from school, familiar faces. I got the police department to come out, the fire department. There's food trucks. So we'll do that for about 2 hours tonight. And then as for Halloween, we haven't decided this year. Last year we did trick or treating. But with it getting darker quicker, school night, it's a little tough because they're like, when they get home, you want to eat candy, you want to be up all night, but then they have to go to school the next day. So this year we haven't decided. We'll either trick or treat for about an hour when the sun's still kind of out, or as the sun's getting ready to go down, and then we might pass out candy here. We're real big on decorating, so our house is, I think, the only one on the street that has like a lot of decorations, and so I think it would be fun for the kids to experience giving instead of getting, because they get so much candy, and I want them to see like other costumes and interact with people and say, here you go, and be able to give this year instead of just the idea of like always walking house to house to get candy.
That sounds good. So
Yeah.
with your 6 boys, do you have any special challenges that you want to share with our audience?
Yes. So one, having younger kids, teaching them is of course always, tough. We all understand that. But yes, we do. We have a one of our sons is autistic, and it's new for us. And so we're learning different tools to use. And so, yeah, Halloween, definitely last year, we weren't fully aware of everything. And I will say last year, He did great. But it was definitely a learning curve. Like, instead of sending the kids up the driveway on their own to say trick or treat, we will follow, we'll all take turns. Oma was with us last year when we trick or treated. So she would take a turn. She would walk all the kids up, and then I would walk the kids up, just to make sure it's a very quick interaction. Not tough, if that makes sense. So not too stressful. Because then it's also, if someone doesn't answer the door, then it's
Right.
like, why isn't the door being answered? And they have decorations. I want candy. I want this. And so, yes, that is definitely something that we try to maintain and manage as we just follow all the kids up, to make sure that everything goes smoothly.
Right. So Alma is the grandmother, is that
Yeah,
right?
that's Josh's mom. Yeah.
Okay. So there is some people use what's called the blue lantern for identifying kids on Halloween who have autism or other special needs because there might be some problem in terms of shyness or they might not just want to they might be nonverbal. What are your
Sure.
thoughts about identifying or having the child that does have autism in your family care? Did you have him carry a blue bucket last year or is that your plan this year?
So no, we are aware of it, of the blue bucket. But no, we don't do that. And simply because uh, children with special needs is always tough. And we look at it as like, you have to have patience regardless for children. And I don't want him to feel any different. I get trick or treat bags made each year. So last year they got like a black canvas bag with the dwarf that they were. This year I got tan canvas bags with the Super Mario character that they are, and it has their name on it. And it would completely single him out. And I don't
Mm,
ever want him to feel that he has to have this. And actually, children with special needs or autism in general are like, I want this. And I don't want the blue bucket this year. I don't want to have that. And I don't want him to be identified. And, with us walking him up to the door, if I can sense that you know, like the candy is not what he wants, or he's like, ew, I don't like this, and he gets overstimulated very quickly, then we just disengage and I'll have the conversation with him. I don't feel like I owe the person passing out candy an explanation, if that makes sense. And ultimately, as times have changed, not that many people participate in trick or treating. And I feel like,
mhm.
if you are choosing to participate in trick or treating, I just ask everyone to give all children grace and understand they could be eating candy for the only day of the year that they get to eat candy. And so, no, the blue bucket is just not, it's not for us. I love that for other people if it works for them and their children. I love that there's awareness on it in general. I think even having the conversation about the blue bucket is great because it opens up people to understand that when you are passing out candy, a child may not have the blue bucket, but I see they're getting upset because I have Twix instead of Reese's.
Mhm.
It's okay. Like, I like, as an adult, I just hope that seeing the Facebook shares of the end caps at Walmart, they're like, oh, what is this? And they read. And whether the child has a blue bucket or not, I just hope that as people passing out candy, they just give all children just a little bit more patience and time and understanding.
Well, it's amazing that I think that's a tip that a lot of parents might not even think of, which is to go to the door with the child so that
Yeah.
they feel the child feels more comfortable, and then the parent can be the intermediary of so
Yeah.
to speak, if that's necessary. So that's something that I think a lot of people need to know about, and I'm glad that you shared that with us.
Yeah.
But in addition to the 6 children that you have a career in the Army, and I'm so excited to have you share that. Your plate is overflowing, but you
Yes.
look amazing. And so, if
Thank
you
you.
could share how you do that, how
Yes.
are you able to manage all of that? And what is your role in the Army?
Yeah. Okay. So I've been in 12 years. Actually, on Halloween is 12 years.
Wow.
Um, And it's definitely been transitions. I was a lot younger when I joined, didn't have children. And having kids now, and them being at this age where you don't want to miss. Like, I'll miss all Halloween. You know, they have a school parade Tuesday morning. I have a meeting Tuesday morning, and so I don't get to be there. So things like that make it a little challenging because, you know, you want to be there for all the kids' school events. And, you know, I do commute all the way to Monterey every day. So the school drop-offs, the school pickups, Josh handles everything for that. And, you know, our moms, both of our moms help out with pickups if I'm stuck in traffic or Josh has to stay late. Um, we just call one of them like, hey, can you help us? Can you pick them up? And we all live very close to each other. So that we are so thankful for that. But it's managing sports. So you come home from work and you're like, okay, you got to go to t-ball practice, or we got flag football practice. It's hard on the kids, I will say. They're like, Mom, why can't you take us to school today? And I'm like, I gotta be at work, dude. Sorry. But they're learning. Cameron, I will say, the 8-year-old is very, very understanding. And it's just having honest conversation. Like, I can't sugarcoat it to them because then I feel like I'm telling them stories. I just have to be honest. And Josh, you know, his work, he works a lot on the weekends. And so they're like, who's taking us to our football game? Oh, how come Dad's not going to be here today? How come they just ask questions? They're kids. And we just have to tell them, hey, we got work. Or, hey, I have to be here for this. But it worked. We make it work.
Good. So how far in terms of distance is your commute every day? Just so people that are not in the area have some idea of how long your commute is.
It's about 200 miles round trip.
Wow.
But there's no traffic. Bay Area traffic can make things a lot worse. I'm opposite commute. So it's very flowing, if that makes sense. I just drive, and the baby commutes with me. He's in the daycare out in Monterey, and he sleeps the whole way.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, I would love for you to share with us your latest accomplishment in the Army from second lieutenant to first lieutenant. So now would be a good time to take a break, and you can tell us what we're seeing on the back end. So we'll be right back, everyone.
From second lieutenant in the United States Army to first lieutenant, as such, from the 25th day of November 2022. Signed, Christine E. Wormwood, Secretary of the Army.
So did we hear your children in the background cheering you on? That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And that was Josh participating in the ceremony as well?
Yes.
And we also had a chance to see your beautiful family, your 6 children, and I'm sure some people may ask, why was there one that had a little emoji on his face? Can you tell us that?
So with we pick on the occasion. We always change the emoji. He's still a foster child. So with social services rules. You're just not allowed to post their face on any social media platforms. So Instagram, Facebook, we always have to keep his face covered.
Well, that makes perfect
Yeah.
sense. So tell me, you're probably one of very few uh, first lieutenants that have six children, let alone six boys. Do you have any idea how many women or men that have that many children and can manage to achieve such a high standing in the Army?
So there's not many with that many kids. And if there is, a lot of them, the other spouse or significant other is stay at home. I tell Josh all the time, I'd love to stay at home, but I can't do it. It helped, being a blended family and like mixing our schedules. And we have two of the boys only 50% of the time. And the other 50% of the time we have four kids, but it's always managing something different and us keeping our work schedule, custody schedules, work, like the extra overtime that he does. Law enforcement, you can work late. You get a random call and you're like, hey, I'm stuck here for 2 hours. And with the Army, it's similar. And not many people as a first lieutenant. So I did enlisted time for 10 years. And then I switched over to be an officer. I, at 30, was like, you know what? I really want to go back to school. And I wanted to get my bachelor's. And so maintaining my career at that, the Army offers a whole bunch of different programs. So I picked a program where when I was moving home from Italy, that I could go to school for 2 years. And so it was in the midst of COVID. So I actually did school online with 3 kids. And the twins, I think, were barely 2 years old. And it was tough. And so as a first lieutenant, normally first lieutenants, all of my peers are like 24, 25 years old, been in the Army 3 to 4 years. And so they meet me and we start talking and we hang out and go to lunch. And they're like, okay, I'm just going to call you mom. And I'm like, it's okay. Let's add it on. Going through college was tough because I was 30. I had kids. And not many people who are in their junior year of college have that. So people laugh at me and they're like, I have no idea how you do it. And I'm like, I just got to do it. That's just, we don't have a way around it. We just do it. So it was tough. And it's hard explaining to your bosses, ultimately. Like Carson yesterday got hurt at school or the day before he got hurt at school. And I took him to urgent care at 7 p.m. when I finally got home from work. And the doctor was like, he can't go to school tomorrow. And I'm like, okay. And, my mom manages all the other grandkids. She was going out to my sister's house, and Josh's mom, she still works. And last minute stuff like that is hard. I said, all right, dude, you're coming to Monterey with me. And so he got to go to work with me, but it was a conversation. I had to explain to them like, hey, I'm sorry. It doesn't happen often, but I have to bring him with me. Like I said, honesty. I'm as honest with my kids as I am my bosses. And I always tell them my family and our dynamic and our home is what needs to be stable before my work life comes first. My work life does not come first. And I would say it took a while. The Army has transitioned. It's not how it used to be. Having the hard conversations with my kids are going to come first, or I have to go do this. I'm sorry. It's gotten a lot better and a lot easier.
Wow, you're such a role model. Is there any advice that you can share, not specifically about Halloween, but just navigating blended families and work, commuting, and just something that someone can take with them and say, well, Jennifer told me this, and I'm going to hold on to that and use that as I maneuver through my parenting and job and all my other obligations as well.
I would say patience. And when it comes to your significant other, communication. Even if it's a hard conversation, have the hard conversation. And understanding. I always tell people you have to understand that not everyone operates the way you operate, and that's okay. And that goes for anything. That goes with work. That goes with how you manage your life. That goes with your interactions with people you've never met. That goes with passing out candy to someone who you don't know. And it's just understanding and being okay that not everyone has to operate and do things the way you do. It takes you to put yourself in someone else's shoes before you can say, you know what? I understand why she was a little short with me today, or I understand why she was 25 minutes late. So I'd say patience and understanding. And then as for your significant other, just hard conversation, have it. And don't be scared to not talk for 20 minutes, but go back and have the conversation again. And just feel like, I just needed to say, this is what's going on. This is how I feel about it. Okay.
Well, that's amazing. And I'm hoping you and your family will have a wonderful holiday season and hope you take lots of pictures for
We
Halloween.
will. Yes.
So thank you. And I hope to have you on again. Thank you so much,
Yes, it was
Jennifer.
so much fun. Thank you for
Enjoy
having
your
me.
Halloween. Thank you. Of course. Thank you.